Today's Wednesday, December 18th, 2013. You're tuned into the Elevator Radio Show. The Elevator Radio Show is a proud supporter of the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. To find out how you can make a difference, visit their website today at www.eesf.org. Hey, we got a great show for you today. Short and sweet. It is the last show before the holidays, so actually the Christmas holiday for that matter. So stay tuned. Here it comes.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You know, if that doesn't make you laugh, I don't know what will. It's just hilarious. Anyway, hello, everybody. I'm Tom Seibert. It's great to be here this Wednesday morning where it is finally warmed up in my office after, I don't know, about an hour of the heat being on. But this is the Elevator Radio Show, which is an audio and a video blog or vlog or podcast, whatever you want to call it. We put it up every Wednesday morning, or I put it up every Wednesday morning, me, myself, and I, which would be we, and we, and we throw it up online for everybody to listen, watch, and check out, basically. So it's good to have everybody here on this cold morning where I'm not going to complain about it because it is kind of nice to see a white Christmas this year. Glenn Duncan stopped by from PSI. Good to talk with him yesterday. And we were commenting on the fact that, this is like the first year that, in the Chicagoland area where we've actually had snow. It's actually kind of snowed before and gotten cold before Christmas. And because what typically happens is we literally move into the wintry weather, it seems like, sometime in January or February or even March for that matter. So kind of nice to see maybe that the seasons are aligning and things are kind of getting back on track. Who knows? I don't know. I like to blame it on the time zone change. We keep taking an hour from we keep pushing the clocks ahead an hour, behind an hour. If you're doing that for so many years, that's going to make that's going to do something, right? It's going to shift how things are happening. But on the brighter side, and literally speaking, this Saturday is actually the shortest sunlight day of the calendar year, which means that from Sunday on, the days should be getting lighter later. I know, say that 5 times fast, which means that for those of you in the southern hemisphere, your days are going to be getting shorter. I'm sorry. Anyway, but I do welcome that. And before you know it, we'll be into spring and things will be sprouting on the trees and stuff like that. So, hey, next week there will be no show because it is Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and we are off. So everybody have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. If you're traveling, be careful out there with all the crazy weather. And we'll be back the last day of 2013. I believe that'll be New Year's Eve, and we'll do a show. And I'm going to see if I can't kind of put together a recap show if I can get my act together during the 2 days that I'm off. I'd love to do that, and I kind of do it every year. And if you have any ideas on what stories you think made 2013 pivotal or important for our industry, love to hear from you on that as well. So, some good articles on the show today, ones that you're going to want to print out and kind of save. Or maybe not print out, but just save them somewhere just so that you can go back to them if you're ever caught or ever, I don't mean to say if you're ever caught in a similar situation, but if you're ever, in a similar situation, because there's important points to make in many of them that we've got in, on the show today. So, it's always good to have that kind of information going forward because, as many of you all know, attorneys are expensive, and at the end of the day, trying to help educate them just costs you money, or your insurance company money, which still costs you money. So keep that in mind. Let's get to the email comments here. I didn't have too many. I do appreciate, let me just see here. I did send, that's a long time ago. Julie, thank you so much for writing in. I love you. I really appreciate your comments. So I'm listening to your podcast while I'm getting ready for work. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, we won't get into that, but thank you for telling me that I mispronounced words in that first article from last week. I do appreciate it. And I'm not going to try to pronounce them again because I'm going to mess it up again. And, it's funny. It's one of those deals where if I try to remember how to pronounce a word, my brain locks up. For the longest time, I could not pronounce the city of Poughkeepsie. And every time I ran into it, it was terrible. I would get to the word and I would drive. It would just be a wall. So anyway, but Julie, we love you, and thank you for writing and for listening, and can't wait to see you guys, our family again, and your family. So appreciate that. Let's see here. I tried going through some of my emails this morning and try to clear some of them up, and they go back so far, unfortunately. Jimmy, thank you for the email article regarding the accident in California. I do have that linked in the show notes today, and I'll let everybody, cover that. Hey, I have a request from a mechanic in Paris, France, who is looking for a place to exchange elevator manuals. And if anybody knows a good place to do that in terms of, documents and stuff like that, you should go direct for the manufacturer. But I do realize that there's older equipment out there that literally you just can't get that information. So there's a good source for that in terms of the elevatorshack.com that I know of that you can get that. But you might want to check out the Elevator World LinkedIn site to see if people would be willing to share some of that information. I'm not sure how much of that is proprietary or whatnot, but I don't know the best way of doing that. But if you are interested in some kind of exchange program or listing service or posting service, send me an email, elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. Important information from CECA, the Canadian Elevator Contractors Association. This is preliminary. There's no new information on the website, but regarding the 2014 convention that's going to be held, and this is the important information. We have an important announcement regarding the 2014 CECA convention in Quebec City. Our host hotel announced they are closing their doors after 40 years in business this February. Never Fear, our convention host, Carl Lepage from Global Tardif, was quick on the case and secured a new fabulous venue for the 2014. Due to the late notice, we have had to make some adjustments, though. Please see the details below. So this will be up on the website, but make sure you reserve your dates as of May 12th through May 16th. And that's pretty much the dates that are going to be held for CECA. And if you haven't already gotten your invoice for joining CECA, make sure you get that and get that paid before the end of the year. And that's pretty much going to do it. So if you got any email comments, send them over to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. I apologize if I did not get to yours or missed it. There are just so many here, and I really got to clean them up before 2014 rolls in. So, always welcome your comments. I love them, and so keep them coming. Up next, we'll get right into the news.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, I was having some issues with my news aggregator, and actually I linked this article up twice, but this is an important one. This is one you're going to want to print out because I'm not quite sure what happened, but this is kind of I know that a lot of inspectors out there that are dealing with elevators that are unsafe will lock them out or tag them out or make put documentation. But what happens in the situation where you have an elevator that has been locked out and tagged out, and then the lockout tagout has, or not, the tagout or the thing has been removed, and then whether it's a lock or whatever, and the elevator's running again. Who's responsible for that? And in this article, this is an article kind of revolving around the death of Bob Reuter in St. Louis. Riverfront Times has an article stating that after investigation, it proves that owner's new elevator was unsafe, illegal before Bob Reuter's death. The real question here is really who unlocked it or who untagged it, allowing it to run. And I don't think you're going to find anybody admitting to this, to be honest with you. Maybe they will, but the reality is the documentation, documentation notes that the elevator was too dangerous to run. And obviously there is going to be, there is a lawsuit already in the works, but more importantly, elevator inspectors have the jurisdiction to shut a unit down if they find that it's unsafe. I mean, they're pretty high up there in the, I don't mean to say the food chain of our industry, but when it comes right down to it, how can you protect against something like this happening even after the proper steps have been performed? That's the big question here. And, obviously, I don't know how often this happens, but the end result, thank God this doesn't happen. Like, the end result isn't a fatality when this happens. But I have to imagine that when elevators are locked out or tagged out, they're running again down the road. I don't know of any personally, but still kind of scary. So I imagine the way that this case will go is that nobody will know who was responsible for unlocking or untagging out the elevator, but somebody is definitely responsible for doing that, and shame on whoever it was for doing it. But it looks as if proper steps were taken. What else can you do? Weld all the doors shut? You know what I mean? It's just one of those deals. Anyway, that's really my comment on that. And regardless of elevators knowing it was safe, it really doesn't lead to the fact that somebody got it going again. So anyway, you can read that, print that out, because making sure that, again, documentation is provided, whether you're a third-party inspector or a consultant or whatever, to make sure owners are aware of what could happen if things are either not corrected, fixed, or if the elevator is taken out of or put it back into service after a life safety issue has shut it down. Is really it's really important to do. It's unfortunately it's not enough just to lock it out and say I've done my due diligence. So anyway, so that's a good one to definitely to print out and say. Okay, next article, 89.7 NPR News has an article, Widow in Elevator Accident Can't Sue OSU, and the wife of a man crushed to death by an elevator won't receive compensation from Ohio State University after Ohio Court of Claims denied her negligence claim. Come on. Anyway, authorities say the 52-year-old James Higgins of London was pinned by a moving elevator in the elevator shaft in April 2009. Anyway, there's a lawsuit launched against the elevator company that she had worked for, also another urban development company. The only question here is I've not heard of an article or a case like this where somebody working inside an elevator who was killed, which is tragic, went back after, or if the estate went back after the building owner to sue, because as much as it is the responsibility of the elevator owners to make sure the equipment is up to snuff, it's kind of interesting. I'm sorry that this happened, but in all honesty, it's nice to see that some type of common sense from a judge actually was ruled on for this situation. So my question to those of you out there, in what situation, I'd love to hear from you, elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. In what situation would you believe that a building owner or and I'm not going to go back to the elevator contractor, because the elevator contractor is responsible for definitely safety issues, safety education through OSHA, to make sure their workers are safe. But from a building owner standpoint, what situation do you think an elevator technician could sue the building or the elevator owner? That's my question to you out there. And I honestly don't think there is one. I don't think there is one unless, I just don't think there is one. But anyway. Okay, cool elevator videos from Germany. If you're like me and love elevator videos, check out Stefano Mueller's website. Stefano, reached out to me the other day and said, "Hey, can you feature or cover my YouTube channel on your show?" I'd be happy to do that. And so, hey, cool videos here. And if you're like me and has really never seen, too many European lifts out there, I think it's pretty cool to see. And again, these are some of the lifts we don't quite see here in the United States or North America. So pretty cool. Keep up the good work, Stefano. Next article, USA Today, you are not helping. This one kind of shocked the heck out of me. And this is a video that's going to start playing here after this groovy music slows down.
Getting there?
Okay, I'm going to just mute it real quick, the video. So, and this is a Gannett Company type of video. Let's see here. Basically, it's man fails split over escalator. Okay, so he's doing the splits on the escalator handrail. Oh, and he's sliding down. Great. Oh, yeah. And that's not the kind of video that we want to see at all on YouTube. So USA Today, way to go. Thanks for showing showing the world how not to properly ride an escalator. Great. Yeah, not too good. Anyway, so shame on USA Today, and thanks for sharing to the stupidity. Okay, the AlbanyPatch.com has a news article. The elevator back in service after several weeks on the disabled list at the Albany Library is accepting book donations again. All right. That's good to hear. It's a good time of the year as well. Don't we all have extra books that we could donate to our local library? Encourage you to do that. Excuse me. Belmont fire log, sprinklers go off, elevator shuts down. Of course, that's what's going to happen. BelmontPatch.com reporting that apparently incidents and emergencies handled by the fire department. This is their kind of blog post. And the lead-ins to the blotter, this blotter, I guess I want to call it blotter, is kind of interesting because it's not something you see every day. It starts off by saying, duh. At 10 till 9 a.m., Engine 2 and Ladder 1 took off at the Homer building, the Town Hall complex, for a report that a couple were stuck in a stalled elevator. Anyway, they were okay. They did go through the lockout procedures, and they were not injured. So, yeah, again, I feel like that when I read some of these articles, too. Like, duh. Anyway. Okay, next news article, top online videos. I can't believe that this, according to Boing.net, our top video posts handpicked by Boing editors. All right, now, if you can believe it, Boing is actually a pretty reputable online news source. But after looking at this, are you kidding me? Put a little more effort into it, because if you think that one of the top videos was a rat trapped on an escalator, you got to go back to the drawing board, man. I'm telling you, not even close. So. I'm sure we'll see a lot of the year-end stuff as the weeks progress. And just as a reminder, next week is our prize pack giveaway, giving away $100. And if you are interested in checking that out, go to our website.
Kittens? They're super.
The cats. That's hilarious. Okay, next article is actually a video by Diesel Doozy regarding a vintage Dover elevator. Hey, how many of you out there miss Dover elevator? Okay, I'm raising my hand right now. I miss them. I gotta say, I miss the blue machine. Dover was good company back in the day. It really was, and I always enjoyed working with people that were at Dover, honestly. And there's a few of them still around, and it's always a pleasure to talk about the good old days of Dover Elevator Company. And it's definitely a different company today, that's for sure. So still pretty cool. So check that out. Nice video. Very nice video. Okay, Metro Australia collection of hilarious escalator slips and trips. I would say this is not hilarious because I'm certain that these people got hurt. I'll let everybody watch that on their own time. But yeah, not anytime you see this, it's bad. And every year our escalators safely carry millions of passengers. Everyone in this video made a full recovery. So these are people that are getting on an escalator with way too much luggage and literally fall back. And honestly, it's not hilarious because this has got to hurt and this guy is going to get pulled. Hit the stop button on the escalator. There you go. Somebody did. Good. Here we go. Carrying heavy luggage, please take the lift. And here's another video footage from the Metro and basically somebody falling and tripping. And I guess the good news here is that this is supposed to be a safety education campaign to some extent for them. And I guess perhaps you can't get any better than showing how those riding escalators this can happen to. So other than just showing graphic photos, which I don't think is necessarily the key, but so it's good to see they've taken some type of proper step. But they didn't go into showing how to ride them properly. They just showed people getting hurt on them. So I don't know. It seems like they missed half of the point of the whole thing. Okay, next article, io9.com. The elevator paradox proves your elevator always goes the wrong way. Does it occur to you when waiting for an elevator, the elevators always seem to be going the wrong way? It occurred to two physicists too, and with a little work they proved that this wasn't just Murphy's Law, it was reality. So George Garnow, a physicist who had a celebrated and action-packed career with including working on radiation research and defecting from the USSR, busy guy. At one point he found himself in an office on the second floor of a 6-story building. He was friendly with somebody else. Anyway, they noticed this strange phenomena, and I don't really know what the result is. It's a long article. And if anybody, here we go, math behind the numbers. If anybody is a mathematician or would like to check this out, feel free to do it. And I guarantee that maybe this will make sense to you. I don't know. Is your, I guess this can apply to the same deal of, is your elevator half empty or half full, or is your elevator always, stopping to pick you up or passing you by? I guess you can apply to that. Maybe we should make a T-shirt on that. I don't know. Next news article, Escalade unveils intelligent elevator panel. I wish I could find out more information on this and what the hell this is. It was a press release linked to Elevator World. It wasn't really, it was just a news blog on one of their daily updates. And I'm like, man, interesting here. But you wonder whether or not it is truly a one solution for any kind of elevator. Because wouldn't it be awesome to kind of like just go to an elevator and stick this panel on and be done with it and say, here, here's your new upgrade. Kind of interesting. It's an Israeli company, and be interesting to see how this kind of works within the continental United States, because I know there's some issues involving ADA and elevator code, all that good stuff. So anyway, it'd be cool to see a day where you've got a widget that basically mounts on an existing elevator, and will control it to some extent. But I think we're a little ways away from that, but still kind of cool. Okay, escalator warning, newssky.com. This is actually another repeat of the warning video that was posted by the Metro in the UK, I think. I said Australia before, I apologize. But and again, the video does half of the job and not the other half. So basically, I think they're trying to tell people not to use the escalator when you've got luggage, which obviously is a good idea, but still, it's like show people how to use it properly, other than the big label that's on the right-hand side of the website. So anyway, and I just had a page freeze up, and now I have a mess, a mess on my website. All right, love that. How did that happen? Anyway, I did not want to save that. Okay, so now my web page is all the posts. Oh no, here, hold on a second here. No, it is messed up. Yeah, it's great. Okay, yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to kind of go through this because all my formatting is gone, and for some reason, okay, bear with me here. This is how we used to like layer the news articles of the show. Okay, if you want to find out what's going on in the Los Angeles Elevator Association, go over to the Elevator Industry Group of Southern California's website here, and they've got a interesting post regarding Los Angeles City current inventory of all conveyances as of November 1st, 2013. So they had the Los Angeles City of Los Angeles, as I am redundant, talked a little bit about all that good stuff in November. So great, good article to read if you want to find out what's going on there. Let's see here. Elevator World Unplugged Upscale elevator. This is a elevator it's pretty much has a wrap on it, which is pretty cool. And I'm surprised we don't see more of this. But it is a situation where you don't see wraps on elevators, and it would seem like this would probably be a pretty unique application for them. Although I don't think the wraps meet any kind of heat rating, for lifts or any ANSI standards, I should say, but still pretty cool. I think theme elevators are really cool, and be neat to see more of them out there. Okay, this is killing me here. Okay, Patco to pay SEPTA again to fix escalators. Philly.com has an article regarding, and these are two transit systems, by the way, stymied again by their efforts to fix broken escalators at a commuter train station in Center City in South Jersey. Patco officials on Wednesday agreed to pay SEPTA $100,000 to do the work. By Wednesday afternoon, SEPTA crews were working on escalators at the Ashland and Linwold stations in New Jersey and on an elevator in 8th and Market Street. So a $139 million maintenance contract approved in September with the escalators manufacturers has fallen through, leaving Patco back where it was after the previous repair contract was allowed to lapse in July. Well, you know what? On the bright side, $100,000 is less than $1.39 million. But still, it's one of those deals where, would the maintenance be? Would the repair be required if they were properly maintained? And perhaps, depending what was in that contract to maintain them for 1.3 or whatever that involved or included, would really kind of shed the light on that information. But I don't really know any more information on it than that. So next news article, John's got a great video on isolating a failing elevator controller component. You can watch it on your own time, but still kind of cool to check out. And let's see here. Let's see how long this is. Just cool to see. It's 2 minutes and 37 seconds. I'll let you check that out on your own. But again, some good inside information. And if you have old elevator equipment or controllers out there you need some help out with supporting, you can give C.J. Anderson a call at 800-252-1910 and talk to me. I can help you out with that. Okay, state finds serious violations after Levi Stadium death. I cannot link this, unfortunately. Oh, I'm in the preview screen. That's why. And again, I will get all this fixed by the time the show goes out. But if you're watching the video and you're going, what in the world is wrong with your screen? Something happened, and now all my links are merged together. But yeah, this was sent in, and again, this is NBC Bay Area. State finds serious violations at this elevator company after Levi Stadium death.
12 Degrees of Inspiration brings top companies and local organizations together to build stronger
I can't turn this off.
Symantec and the Silicon Valley Education
and a
Foundation
free advertisement
have joined together to help countless young minds realize their academic dreams.
Okay.
Learn more at NBC.
Anyway, I am not going to play that because I didn't mean to give Symantec any more free advertising than they got. But the reality here is this is basically OSHA coming in and fining Schindler Elevator Company for violations in safety. And that's what they do. I mean, OSHA comes in and they will fine you. I mean, there's no second chances. They don't care. They will make a tally list and just go through it and make sure that they catch everything they possibly can. Unfortunately, and that's why it's so important for each one of us to make sure that we're doing those, anything we can basically to make sure that safety is number one. We're not getting in trouble. We're making sure our workers are safe, et cetera, et cetera. So, and just as a reminder, OSHA is a revenue generation or a fine run entity of the government. Okay, so what that means is that they get their funding by fines. I'm sure they get some funding, obviously, from the government, but and they're not nice. So the best that you can do is make sure that you are, you're up to snuff on all your OSHA requirements. And if you need help with that, get some help. Okay, so yeah. Okay, man fined 1.3 million yen for urinating in elevator. Yep, the elevators are not bathrooms, and it's unfortunate that this guy was caught. So anyway, for 6 months, that corrosion will definitely wreck an elevator. So, yeah, it's disgusting. And that's the same kind of thing that happens in most transit systems here in the United States. This is from Japan, I believe. Now something's locked up again. All right, I gotta do the show from a. I got to do it from the incognito window, I think, next time. I think that's what's killing me here, because I think all these ad things are linking into Google, and Google's sucking all my information out, all that good stuff. So, yeah, it's fun to have to struggle through a show again. Anyway. Okay, Elevator Constructors 23. I was surprised to see this. NorthwestLaborPress.org has an article, runoff for top office at Elevator Constructors number 3 in the Portland headquarters has a runoff election on January 9th to elect a top new officer, and 3 candidates vied to succeed retiring business representative Mike Bodendorfer. Sorry, Mike. Anyway, so check that out. Kind of cool to see what's going on the labor side in a official press release like that. Next news article. This is key. Real good article. I was surprised that it kind of popped up. Elevator safety flaws persist despite a history of tragic accidents. This is a good article to print out and save. I don't necessarily agree that that there are still issues with swing doors. I don't know in terms of the residential marketplace, but I'm starting to kind of understand why perhaps Thyssen Access got out of the residential elevator market. Because this is pretty significant. And if you are maintaining any elevators with doors that have swing doors on them, make sure that the space in between is minimized so that accidents like this don't happen. So real good article, and have some good links inside the article, and a good animation. So and some great images from John O'Donoghue's book that I think is awesome. So really well written article. I don't know whether I agree with, safety flaws with, through current codes. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But I think together, all of us can ensure that elevators are safe, or as safe as they possibly can be, each and every day. So there's a lot of old equipment out there, and obviously we're not looking at the residential lifts like we probably should. But if you know of anybody that has a residential elevator, make sure that they're aware that the space in between the door and the gate has to be minimal according to the code, and just make sure, or none, or literally none. So good article, really good article. Encourage you to print it out and even send it to your clients. So in the instance that you have, a case that comes up, you can at least say you've done, you've sent some kind of notice out. That's important. And then the last article here, if you like elevators and you love dancing, or you love them both, check out this video, and it's great. And Julie, thank you for sharing it with me. The only issue here is that people should not be riding freight cars. So that's the only item I wanted to comment on. But thanks for the video, Julie. I love it. Love the song. And I wish I could dance like that, but I can't, so I won't. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show, everybody. As always, thanks for tuning in. It has been great to be here this Wednesday morning, where we bring the show to you come rain, snow, shine, whatever is best that we possibly can. And remember, if you send your complaints also to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com. And remember, you can't fire me because I'm not getting paid to do this. So everybody have a wonderful Christmas. Okay, if you're traveling, be safe. I realize the weather is kind of pretty tough out there, and as always, enjoy your family as best you can. Not always the easiest thing to do, especially during these stressful time of the year. And I will be back in 2 weeks, where we will do a recap show to the best of my ability. So everybody take care, be safe, and think safety each and every day. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.